Okay, this is a Shadow Ranger, and I'm making this response to a video by JPM and Carl I watched today. This was their JPM and Carl show TNA discussion. And while usually I really like these two guys, I gotta say I had a lot of problems with some of the things they said in this video. So this is my response to you guys, and I would appreciate a response in return. First of all, I want to point out something else. Everybody keeps saying this and nobody gives any examples. Immortal is not the NWO. It is nothing like the NWO. Just because Hulk Hogan is part of a group does not make it an NWO copy. You know what? Triple H was an Evolution. That doesn't make Evolution a ripoff of DX. Okay? If anything, Fortune is the corporation. Right? Jeff Hardy is the corporate champion. Hogan and Bischoff are filling the roles of Vince and Shane McMahon. They're in charge, they're running the company, and they have their hand-picked champion, so they're bending the rules and stacking the deck in his favor. Which is why they were going to make Anderson wrestle when they knew he had a concussion. Ric Flair and Jeff Jarrett are basically the stooges, like Patterson and Briscoe were, and Fortune is the muscle, like you had with Ken Shamrock and the Boss Man and Test, and later Big Show in the corporation. All right, I've asked several people this, and no one has given me an answer. Please explain to me how Immortal is anything like the NWO. They're not trying to take over a company they already have. They're not bringing in new people every week and putting them in t-shirts. I mean, if you want to compare a group in wrestling to the NWO, go with Nexus. They add people, they throw people out, they all got t-shirts. I mean, Nexus is more like the NWO than Immortal is. There is nothing NWO about Immortal. I'm begging you guys, please break this down. Give me the points. How is this in any way like the NWO? It is not. Also, what is your deal with Robbie E? How can the two of you sit here on this video and say this guy sucks when he has had all of 2 matches on television? He has wrestled on TV twice. 2 short television matches. How could you possibly judge his wrestling ability based on 2 TV matches? Okay, we haven't seen what he can do on pay-per-view. At least let him be on pay-per-view a few times. All right, maybe he goes into that ring on the pay-per-view with Jay Lethal and they put on a kick-ass X Division match. Maybe they won't. We don't know. Wait until we've at least seen him on pay-per-view when he's got maybe 10 to 15 minutes to wrestle in the ring. He had a short television match against Amazing Red, which was like probably 4 minutes long, if even that. Then he had a match with Jay Lethal this week, which was maybe 6 or 7 minutes, and it was a hardcore match, so you really didn't get to showcase much of his wrestling ability. You have nothing to go on. The dude has been on television twice. How could you possibly judge his wrestling ability? Okay. Two matches. Again, he's had 2 televised matches. I've said it before. I've said that already, but I want to drive that point home. 2 matches. You cannot judge someone's wrestling ability to the point you say the guy sucked or the guy shit because after 2 freaking matches. Fuck Paul Heyman. Who the fuck made the rule that you can't be over 40 in wrestling? That over 40 means you're bad, right? Kurt Angle's over 40 and he puts on great matches with damn near everybody he gets in the ring with. Hell, Ric Flair is 60 and Mick Foley's in their 40s, and they had a great promo and a really good match on Impact, on the live Impact on the 7th. It's not about your age. It's about, can you be an entertaining character and put on an entertaining match, okay? I don't know where this whole everybody over 40 is somehow poison came in. If the guy puts on good matches and is an entertaining character, then let him be on TV. All right. Again, fuck Paul Heyman. What makes Paul Heyman so damn great that you would give him that control? Remember, he wanted one full control over the company. What has Paul Heyman done that warrants him being allowed to be in charge of an entire company? The one company he was ever in charge of, he ran out of business. They didn't sell tickets, they didn't sell pay-per-views, they didn't make money, and when the company died, he still owed people to this money. And if you talk to some people, some say that he still owes wrestlers money that he never paid them. What has Paul Heyman done to warrant him? What are his credentials? Straight up credentials. So he can come up with some good booking. But you know what? There's plenty of other people who can come up with some good booking. All right. We could have the debate of TNA needing newer bookers. All right, that's an argument that we could have. I think the whole they need new creative is fucking overblown. But what has Paul Heyman done? What is on his resume that says he should be allowed to have what he wants? That he should be allowed full roster control, full creative control, being able to hire and fire anyone he wants. What has he done that says that he should get the Dana White role of a wrestling company? Okay, everything that he says he could do, they could do themselves. They could find, if they want to find a new creative team or a new booker, they could hire Gabe Sapolsky if they want to. I don't know much about Gabe, but if he's as good as everybody likes to make him out to be, TNA could just hire him themselves. What do they need Paul Heyman for? To give someone that type of complete control of your company? They're not in dire straits. TNA does make money, okay? Maybe they're not as big or as popular as they'd like to be, but nobody there is starving. Tell me why Paul Heyman deserves to have full roster control. Why does he deserve to have the ability to hire and fire anyone he wants without anyone else's say? What has he done? What is his track record? What is it on his resume that warrants him being given complete control over another company when the only company he ever ran, he ran out of business? If Paul Heyman was so great, ECW would have never died. They would have drawn more money and sold more tickets and had more fans, and they wouldn't have gone out of business if they were so fucking great. What is with all this Paul Heyman nut hugging? How do we even know that Paul Heyman has still got it? So Paul Heyman says, oh, I'll get rid of some people and bring in some foreign talents. Hey, I like foreign talents too. I love the World X Cup, and I wish that would have been brought back this year. I hope they do bring it back. Actually, I'd like to see a women's version of the World X Cup. I think that'd be pretty cool to see. Again, fuck Paul Heyman. Actually, one more time, fuck Paul Heyman. I'm trying to figure out where you two are coming from, because I watched your guys' videos for a while, and I usually like what you do. I just feel like a lot of people are just shitting on stuff that they haven't even given a chance. I'll say it again. Robbie E from the Shore, he's had 2 televised matches. 2 televised. I hate to keep harping on that, but it's really important. 2 televised matches, and you're already saying the guy sucks. Did he injure somebody? Did he put on some insanely horrible match? I mean, at least give the guy a decent chance. Let him do 3 or 4 matches on TV. Let him wrestle on a couple of pay-per-views before you jump in and say he sucks. Now, if he wrestles on pay-per-view against Jay Lethal and he puts on an awful match, hey, then have at it. Feel free to say he's awful. You know what? I don't have a problem with people saying that Lacey Von Erich is a horrible wrestler, because she is awful. We've seen her wrestle multiple times over the past year, and she's been bad every time. It's fine to say that she's an awful wrestler, but to come out on a guy that's had 2 matches on TV and then just jump down his throat, and then say TNA should get rid of the Shore when they did their gimmick and it got them mainstream publicity, when the Shore got them on freaking Entertainment Weekly and TMZ and other media outlets. They got, hey, media attention works. They need media attention to help bring in some new viewers. I will agree with you guys on two things though. One, Zack Ryder is awesome, and two, I want Taylor Wilde and Hamada back on TV. They do need some more teams for them to feud with. I really wish they would transition the Beautiful People over into that tag team division. I really think the Beautiful People should be going after the tag titles, and so should Madison Rayne and Tara. I think the fact that the singles title is involved in this feud when it should be the tag titles, like Taylor Wilde, I think like Taylor Wilde and Hamada probably even shouldn't be a tag team. That she should be in the singles division, and Hamada should be wrestling singles matches more. And yet Tara and Madison Rayne should be going for the tag belts, and the Beautiful People should be going for the tag belts, and probably Sarita teaming up with somebody to go after those belts. I think that would work a lot better. Plus, I just want to see Taylor Wilde as Knockouts champion, because I already booked a 7-month title run for her, and I'd just really like to see it on TV. But anyway, I'm rambling now. I'd like a response to this. One, who the fuck said you can't be over 40 in wrestling? If you're entertaining and you can put on a good match, you should be able to wrestle. Two, Robbie E has had 2 fucking matches on TV. How could you possibly judge his wrestling skill based on 2 matches? I'm not saying the dude is awesome for the same reason. He's only had 2 matches. How could you possibly jump out and say that the dude sucks? No, 2, the Shore has got TNA some much needed mainstream publicity. I personally think they should go with it and bring the Jay Wild shit back and do something on pay-per-view. Let them have like a mixed tag, Robbie E and Cookie versus Jay Lethal and Jay Wild. Get some mainstream attention, probably get a couple more pay-per-view buys. Second, who the fuck is Paul Heyman to go to somebody and say, give me complete control of your company? How do we know that Paul Heyman still got it? We ain't heard Paul Heyman put out one goddamn storyline that he would do, or a feud that he would put together. The only company he ever ran and had that control over, he ran out of business. Why should TNA give him full roster control and autonomy to do whatever he pleases? Again, I like you two guys. I like your video. Please respond. Thank you.